Awesome. Well, thank you. That's all the questions that I had. So I'll give it back to Dimitra.
Because you guys mentioned a lot, like how like challenging and interesting would be like these 2 years, the coming 2 years. Ken, what's a big challenge for RAK right now? You think?
Yeah. So from my perspective, okay, so I think how we can provide, I mean, the RAK, we don't build many sensors by ourselves because we are more networking focused. So we choose the strategy is we working with the partner, offer the solution to the customer so they can easily deploy. I mean, we target to increase the adoption rate of the solution. That's what we are targeting. So the challenge is if we can build the solution for customer, it's really easy to use, to deploy. I think that's the challenge for RAK. And also, what kind of the value layer we can build to enhance the adoption rate. That's probably we are thinking on also the challenge for sure.
Okay, great, thank you. So when it comes to partners, what are you looking for when you collaborate with like new companies or like penetrating the new industries, etc.?
Okay, so for me, I think most important is the value. When we create products, what's the positioning of this product for the market, for the user, right? So as long as we can identify and also recognize the value of the products for the customer. Yeah, so we are very, very excited to start the collaboration with them to figure out a business model, how we can benefit each other. Let me give you an example. So for layer sensors, I think one of the, because I have some first-hand experience to use your sensor in some project right now. When we start to deploy the sensor first, it's very easy to install. Totally, it's very great. And the second one is, you know, for water leak sensor, the most important is the sensitive. But you know but you actually has the different profile setting to distinguish the sensitive. It's very helpful. I mean, for the user, and also. For customer, let me give you an example. So for Hong Kong, the humidity is very, very strong, right? So some of the risk is the ceiling. Sometimes they will drop off. So they want to deploy some sensors to there, to detect, for example, the water leak sensors. The traditional water leak sensor, they actually not very good to deploy on the ceiling because, they still need a plate to get to the water because you need to have a liquid, exceeds some, 5 millimeters, something like that. Then you can discover the leak and send the signal. But for layer sensor, actually, it's very good fit for the ceiling scenario. That's why the customer here is really looking forward to use layer sensors because they saw the value of these products for the building automation market. So I think that I just give you an example how we see what kind of partner products we want to work with.
Yeah, that's great. Also, it's great to hear that people are really looking forward to use our layers.
It's a first-hand experience.
Yeah. Okay, we haven't really talked about like the founding story of RAK. So how did you guys find RAK?
Okay, yeah. So you mean how we
how it was founded?
Okay.
Yeah. How did you start RAK?
Okay, yeah. So we started RAK 2014-15. Yeah. So when we start, we think IoT is a big thing. We should do something, right? And so that's why we have the vision as IoT made easy. Right. So, but you can imagine you can make many things easy, but how we can make IoT easy? So we start from there. But gradually we actually when we start we just we don't know killer apps like in the mobile internet. Who knows killer apps like developer to decide? That's why the Uber and and also Airbnb become the KLAS, right? So not Apple decide, it's actually developer decide. That's why we think, hey, can we do something for developer so we can enable them, empower them to build the application innovation, right? So that's why where we start from. And we building the tools for the open source and also convenient to use and also easy to do customization, reduce the barrier, no matter the cost, also the easy to use. That's where we start.
And how much has the competition changed, you think, since you started until now?
Okay, so we actually start from Wi-Fi, but Wi-Fi actually is quite mature market. The competition is very serious. That's why we shift to the LoRaWAN. So from beginning, actually we also built the very famous concentrated module, work with Raspberry Pi. We didn't see too many competition there because we very careful for the developer. But what we say is the competition actually is here for the industry, right? So it's make everything, every company, in this game, in this ecosystem can work more hard because of the competition. So competition is healthy. But also we can say is still the enterprise market always need a service. I mean, either the faster support or maybe continuously roadmap or maybe some customization, right? So I think competition right now in LoRaWAN is very healthy because market is very huge. Everyone can have very good area. I mean, if they can focus, right? So I didn't say the competition is the risk for RAK. I can say competition is the engine to drive RAK works more hard for the customer, for the user.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, right. Okay, so I can imagine how you must be really busy with I don't know, exploring like new technologies, new partners. What's a typical day at work?
What's the typical day of the work, right? Hours or maybe day?
Yes, your typical day for you.
Okay, so actually I normally sleep around 10 p.m. or 10:30, something like that. I wake up around maybe 5:30 or 6 a.m. and do some exercise. Then I start working whole days. And from Monday to Saturday, something like that. So I like the work because for me, if I want to realize the vision of IoT made easy, I can see lots of work I can do, right? So I like my work, my dream, and so my journey.
Of course. Okay, we know that you're an avid reader. So what's the last book you read lately?
The last book you mean is the how we can understand this.
You reading a lot, so
the book. Yes. Okay. Yeah, so I think one of my colleagues, Roy, he recommended the book to many people. I think that the book is really helpful. It's a culture map. It's we are very unique Chinese company because we actually have more people outside of China. We build an international team. Most of our team from the international team, most of our team member from the international team is our customer before, right? We have same vision. That's why we join the company and work on the same goal together. We are very open, so that's our culture. And also we respect the culture is most important to build a journey with team member together. So I think that's the book I can actually recommend.
Okay. If you can share, what's like a next step for RAK?
Yeah, so I think still our goal is no change. There is IoT made easy. So, but we discover the customer, they need a more plug and play solution, ready to use, and the more use case. So I think that's the next step the RAK we are working on, because before we build the tools, we empower the people to build the application. But for the market, they need a ready to use solution or maybe device. Actually, they are looking for the plug and play solution. I think that's the next step we will working on.